Hey, it's Susan. Hello. So, I couldn't wait to come back to you with this newest piece of the puzzle. So here's our puzzle piece so far, right? We have the trifecta approach. We have the mind, which is ego, the body, which is your body essence, and your spirit, which is your I am presence. That is the trifecta. That is your state of the pyramid, right? Now, the pyramid indicates this: you are a sacred site. So there's sites in the world, like pyramids out in the world, right? And everyone's looking for the pyramid, but the pyramid is actually you. You're the pyramid. You're the sacred site. It goes further. So I get so excited to share this that I like have to breathe some oxygen in. The last part to this whole thing is that out of the mind, body, and spirit, the mind was given the free will. Why? Because the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, who were all on a mission here to do, is become the pyramid, the sacred site, through our trifecta. And we know out of all these, we know that the body functions and can heal itself, which would then go into another story. We're going to go into that in a moment. We know that the I am is connected to the monad. We know that that's functioning, right? So who is the one that feels the hurt, the pain, the rejection, the disappointment, all of this stuff? That's the ego, which is the mind. And we know that to truly do your journey all the way through to wholeness, all three parts come together. And the part that the ego has the hardest time with is to know that it is loved by spirit. Well, I've got something that will solidify this for you altogether. Your ego has the free will. And we talked about that, right? But let's go some layers deep beyond that. And free will meaning that it entrusted the child, the one that's hurt, the one that feels rejected, not loved by God. And when you see a child that's hurting, what does a mother or father need to do for that child to give it confidence, to give it remembrance? It gives it the most precious thing it possibly could offer, and that is free will. And free will has been given to the ego because the Divine Mother and Father of all living light in the universe, which has made each and every one of us, knows that that ego needs to know how much it's loved. So we're in a world, right, and everyone's running around with their egos, and they're creating all this stuff from their ego space. But if you understood that it was a gift given to you to remember that you are loved and seen as whole, then the ego can come back home all the way to the Divine Mother and Father, because the Divine Mother and Father have given the ego the most precious gift of the free will. So therefore, it entrusts and trusts in that ego. And it's saying through action, I love you and I trust you with all of this. Here's free will. I think it's beautiful. When I got that, I'm still integrating it. It was only a few hours ago. I'm uploading this video intentionally to offer it out to all of you. Let it sink in. Go as deep as you want to go. It reminds me of a child. When I was shown this, I thought of a child that had gone through an abusive life, all its life, and finally an adult comes in and reassures that child that it's safe. And not only is it safe, but it was given the most precious gift the whole way through that it didn't know how to identify, it didn't know how to look at, and it didn't know how to see. Right? And I'm sharing with all of you as Cliff Notes, because we don't all have to do the same things to come to similar answers. We can all participate and do our very best and then offer it up for whoever's ready to grab it from the tree. And I met someone today. Her name is Kayla. She's super cool, and she's an earth angel. And I wanted to share a tree she remembers from heaven, because we were talking today about how heaven can be here right now through free will, through our ability to remember that from which we are, right? And she remembers this beautiful tree, and it was all in the river, and it carried more than 12 different types of fruit on it. And I knew that she was the anchor of the seed, of the remembrance of the trees and of heaven here on earth right now. And everyone talks about 166,000, right? So what if she's one of those 166,000 that, with her remembering that and bringing it forward and remembering the trifecta, mind, body, and spirit, and allowing her ego to feel what it feels like to have the gift of free will inside its possession, because it's trusted and honored that much. And she then starts to remember more of heaven. Do you not think that she will be bringing it here now to us, for us? What can you remember? What can you bring here now for us? You know, what is your calling? What is the things inside of you? I don't know if I told you this, but this is one of my seeds. So I was in Vegas, and I was coming out of the door of Vegas, and I got hit with this vision, and I was in this room, and everyone was kings and queens. And it wasn't kings and queens like I'm a king and I'm a queen, but it was kings and queen elegance, beauty and elegance, nobility, the things that you read about in storytellers, right? But beyond that. And I remember that. And I'll remember that here for all of us here now. That we do go back to our elegant self. The ego does get a chance to remember it was entrusted with free will, because of how much it is loved and how much the universe trusts it. Remember, I'm integrating too with this information, so it's new, it's coming, it's flowing, it's doing its thing. And I remember that. So I hold the seed for all those beautiful people that are ready to come back into their elegance. Another key that I hold within my heart space, within my soul, is flying. When I was a young girl, I would have dreams, many, many dreams about flying, and I would teach people how to fly, and it came from this space here. So it was like your solar plex, and I would say, okay, focus all your energy right here. Breathe in, and then trust. Do the faith thing. Have trust and faith. Now, I am in no way telling you, do not recommend getting on top of any building past the ground that you try this on, but I'm bringing back online a remembrance, a seed, and I'll keep researching it, and I'll do more to do my part for that energy to come back here now on this earth. What part will you do? What part will you be inspired by this video to do? It's endless. We're in an infinite universe. You know, why do all this work in remembrance if in fact it's all for nothing? Unless you already know who you are, and then, you know, and probably maybe, 5 years behind you. I'm okay with that. But that's what I agreed to. And if you're 5 years behind this, that's okay. That's what you agreed to before you got here. But if you're perfectly on time and online, that's great too, because you agreed to it at this moment and this time. But I heard the trumpets blowing today. And the trumpets were saying, remember, 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 remember. What can you remember? I'll see you later. Bye.